साथ।
Up 850 points right now. It's an over 5% gain that we are seeing for the Hong Kong market.
Up 4/10. Definitely cooler than expected.
Market clearly reacted to the fact that the core inflation was lower than what was expected.
Big rally is seen in the rupee. It is at now 7-week highs.
250 points higher now on the Nifty.
For India, earnings growth held up better than expected than most people thought.
The healthcare services, it was clearly the fact that occupancy improved. We moved from 60% in the last year to 68%.
Operational metrics this time around have improved, and importantly, the disclosures of the company have improved as well.
The Nifty is holding above 18,300 as we speak.
In terms of inventory, we really made a significant reduction in our inventory from Q1 to Q2.
It is a 12% margin that M&M has clocked in.
Development Finance Institution is providing America's largest solar manufacturer with up to $500 million in debt financing.
Justice Kaul has taken very serious objection to the centre essentially taking on names that are sent by the Supreme Court collegium for elevation to the High Court or to the Supreme Court.
We have Nifty up around 300 points.
Well, that was the day so far. You're with us here on a Closing Bell. I'm Prashant. With me, my colleague Reema here in the studios, and Mangalam joining us from the newsroom floor. Mangalam, hi. Welcome on board. Well, things are looking
hi
pretty...
to me also.
I mean, you're next to me. So,
Hello, guys.
all right. Things are looking pretty steady, at least with the Nifty, I have to say. And I think I have to add that caveat that things are looking great for the Nifty. The index moves from last night are extending. So you look at US futures, they're up 0.5%. You look at the dollar, which has kind of corrected a little bit. There is news from China, which seems to be kind of very slowly inching towards kind of some sort of reopening. They've eased their quarantine rules. Chinese stocks are higher. Yields have moved up a little bit. And I think what's happening in China is that the currency is getting pushed higher. And that is putting additional pressure on the dollar, which is not exactly bad news. Hang Seng is up some 7.5–8% by close today in terms of trade. I mean, I think follow through later today out of the US will be important to watch, as always. Just one thing, even as the Nifty is doing so much, and the earlier morning highs have been taken out and we are at new highs, the broader market is not showing the same amount of enthusiasm. You look at the mid-cap index, the intraday will come up. That is almost flat. Nothing, 24 points on that index. And the small cap index is also not showing too much enthusiasm at this point. Market breadth is still positive, but it could be better for a 300-point up day on the Nifty. Reema.
Hi, and just some more data points, right? HDFC Bank is contributing 90 points plus to the Nifty up move, and the balance 60 points is coming in from HDFC Limited, which means the two HDFC twins are contributing more than 50% to the up move. Add to that a Reliance Industries and Infosys, and then you've got nearly 80% of the Nifty up move, which is coming courtesy just these four stocks. I'm not even talking about the rest of the IT large cap names like TCS, etc. And you add a few more, and then perhaps all the gains would get covered in that. So in a way, what we're trying to say is that perhaps the gains are fairly concentrated today, which also ties in with the fact that the mid-cap index, after a strong opening, has seen all those gains fizzle out. It's absolutely flat for the mid-cap index as we speak, and all that euphoria has fizzled out when it comes to the mid-cap, index. You spoke about, China reopening and how, things appear to be set in motion on that front. Up until now, the global inflation has also not fully reflected China opening up.
Oh, yeah.
China inflation has been very weak for the month of October, reflecting the weak domestic demand. So once China opens up, demand will go up, but even global inflation is going to, go back up. So that inflation, which we're getting happy about, that perhaps it's coming under control, can rear its ugly head, back once again.
No free lunch, right? There's always some price to pay somewhere, second-order impacts. Absolutely. Mangalam, what are you watching out for?
Well, I'm looking out for two things that may, be a little more ahead of the curve as far as the data points are concerned, and that's usually the money markets. We're wondering what happens in the US tonight. Well, overnight we did see that crash come by in the dollar index, and that's only continued even now. In fact, when we started out trade, the dollar index was around 108, which of course was lower than the previous levels that we saw. Now, as we speak, it's about 107.5. So that is the that is a sign that is telling you that maybe there could be some further up move in the U.S. markets. The second thing that I'm looking at is Dow futures. In fact, moments ago it was up around 200 points, and now it's moved around 300 points, 270 points to be precise, on the way up. So today may be a good day for the US, and that is what we'll perhaps watch out for in our markets as well. Rima said, HDFC Twins, Reliance, the IT index, metals, all of them are doing well. Can we have a last hour flourish into the weekend? If that happens, then it will be even it will just be the cherry on the cake. But we do have a lot of other things to watch out for on the show today.
Absolutely. Mangalam, you were our go-to person to tell us what are the fun things to do this weekend. So I was hoping that you would throw that in as well. But we'll have that chat perhaps later on. But for now, let's tell our viewers what we've lined up for them on Closing Bell. HDFC Bank, HDFC Limited are the top two Nifty gainers. What's got the stocks excited? Details on the show. Indian Hotels, on the other hand, is losing in trade despite reporting a strong set of Q2 numbers. What's weighing the stock down? Also on the show today. And chemical stocks like GNFC, Deepak Nitrite and Fine Organic are reacting to their quarterly updates and numbers. Complete fine print coming up on the show. And finally, we'll also be joined by our Alpha Manager for the day, Rahul Baijal of HDFC AMC, to discuss his view on the markets and the top portfolio calls.
Well, how should you position yourself going forward? That's the question, isn't it? So let's get that going.